Good morning. Well, of course, we want to wait for the Assembly action, but I'm confident that they will reach the same result. And as I said a moment ago, I feel a great sense of relief and a sense of accomplishment as well on behalf of the legislature, an often beleaguered institution, but I think what we're showing here is that we can solve the most difficult of problems on behalf of the people of California. And, it's not a celebration. It's not the decisions we were called upon to make over these past number of months were very difficult and very painful. But we stepped up, and we did it. And I'm so proud of my colleagues who worked endless hours and the staff. And I said some weeks ago there are a couple of reasons why it's important to get beyond this. One is to solve the crisis, of course. But the other thing is I want to be a leader who gets the chance to focus on building a positive agenda here in California. There's so much to work on. I want to help reform high school education in California, make sure every young person has a career pathway. And we have a healthcare problem and a water challenge and renewable energy, and we need to reform our prison system. We have so much to do. And so I really do believe if this was a trial run for my pro temship, it's a heck of a trial by fire. But if we can do this, we can tackle any of those things. So,
can you talk about the process? Does this set bad precedent, perhaps, in the sense that if you're going to be going into these kinds of difficult votes, that people are going to be extracting these kinds of demands from you?
I don't like it, and it is an unpleasant part of the process. But I'll tell you what the answer is. The answer, in my view, is to take this 2/3 supermajority requirement. We're one of 3 states in the country that allow a small minority of members to hold up the progress. And I think we've seen it time and time and time again how it doesn't really work for California. Now, it worked this time barely because of the magnitude of the crisis and because 6 courageous people stepped up and decided to put their state ahead of ideology or any other interest. But we need to take the question of this 2/3 supermajority to the ballot. I feel it even stronger now than I did when I started on December the 1st. It's not to say this was a bad experience. It was a positive experience. I mean, Dave Cogdill and Mike Valines and the governor and Karen Bass, we worked very well together, and we came to an agreement that pretty much was represented here on the floor. Some of the last-minute, agreements that have to be made in order to secure votes, some of it is part of the process, but some of it I think could be cured if you don't allow this 2/3 requirement to continue.
On the same front, you had a couple of members of your own caucus who didn't seem too thrilled about voting for it, and you had to go back into a room and talk and go. What did you say to these folks to try to get them to do it? They weren't happy about it.
Well, what I said was, in essence, that we have to save California. There's no question that if we did not get this done tonight or this morning, that California was going to be in a very precarious position. The consequences were coming at us every single day. And so even though some of these votes were difficult and some of them unpleasant, frankly, given sort of the nature of this process, in my view, and I said to the members, on balance, nothing was more important than making sure that we solved the budget deficit, put the crisis behind us, and have enough revenue to avoid the worst kinds of cuts to public education, health care, and the other priorities that the people of California care about. So, This is a very personal business. And, one of the things I enjoy about the job is working with my members and listening and trying to understand and figure out the problem. And, usually there is a way to figure out the problem. And tonight, I think we figured out how to solve a problem in a very, very big way, and I'm very proud.
Senator, where do you go from here now? What happens?
To bed, actually, is where I hope to go. Where do we go from here? Well, the Assembly still has its work to do, and then I'm sure the governor will sign this budget. And, I really want to get a little rest. And once we get a little rest, we'll be right back at it, working on, again, these other major agenda items that are positive, water and health care. And I'm, again, passionate about ending the high school dropout rate and making sure every kid has a path, every young person has a pathway to success. Yes.
Can you talk about the prospects of, the hole being deeper than the 42 billion?
We don't know. Of course, it's all about the economy. And, but if the economy continues to, have its troubles, and we face a few more challenges in May, we'll deal with them. We dealt with this. We'll deal with that.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay?
What position will you take on the open primary?
I'm not sure, but I'm not, to be honest with you, at this point, especially, with the process, I'm not sure I'm all that enamored with it at this point. But I'll look at it, but not that enamored
Senator,
with it.
what have you committed to the governor and other leaders as far as campaigning for these 6 items that are going to be on the ballot?
Haven't talked about it in any kind of a detail. There's some of them that, for example, the Prop 63 cut. I stepped up. This is something I care obviously very much about. It's been one of my passions, and we cut $400+ million. It has to go on the ballot. I'm not sure you're going to see me with a yes on cutting 63 sign, but